We welcome you to Petco Park in San Diego, where it's a beautiful night for baseball. It's game 2 of a 4-game series between the Colorado Rockies and the San Diego Padres. CJ LeMahieu for the Rockies off to a great start, and so is Eric Hosmer. .375 average with 4 doubles and 2 RBIs for the Padres in his new uniform. We welcome inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Donald Rosillo along with Mark Grant. Welcome to Padres baseball. Well, tonight's a very exciting night. Tyson Ross will take the hill for the Padres. The former Padres ace who has not started here since opening day 2016. It's going to be a lot of fun.
The Padres need a starter to be a stopper. Now 0-4 as the season has begun against a very productive team, which is the Colorado Rockies. But Tyson Ross, after having surgery in 2016, he is back, and here is the resume. 13-15 with these Friars. 2016, 1 start, surgery in October. Rough year last year. Hey, maybe a full offseason to recover. Threw the ball well in spring training, but look for 3 things: the tilt, the velocity, and the location. This is a guy who can be very, very dominant. And if the Padres need anybody in a game tonight, it's a guy with the stuff like Tyson Ross has against these Rockies.
Well, last night we saw more good stuff from Charlie Blackmon. He feasts on Padres pitching, but he feasts on everybody's pitching.
Don, you hit the nail right on the head. His career splits, righties and lefties, like right at .305. So it's not that he just beats up on the Padres. He can do it against anybody with the bat and with the leather. A lot of room in Colorado, but he covers quite well here in San Diego as well. Why is he so good? Well, he's athletic. He covers some good ground. At the plate, foul pole to foul pole with punch and extra base power. It's Charlie Blackmon. He's one tough out.
Well, Tyson Ross on the mound tonight for the Padres. Yesterday, our own Bob Scanlon caught up with him. We'll hear that when we come back from Petco Park for Game 2 after this.
Now, coming into camp, nothing was guaranteed. He had to earn his spot on this ball club. Is he excited about it? You bet. Here's what he had to say.
It was a grind through spring training. We had a lot of good arms in camp, and I was fortunate to join the club here early in April, and the work's just about to begin now. So we got a long road ahead of us. We got to go out there and grind and put together some wins. It's an honor for me. I've cherished any day I get out here and put on a big league uniform. I missed about 15 months between 2016 to getting back with Texas late in the year last year, and I know how fortunate you are to be able to play this game and have fun doing it.
After the thoracic outlet surgery, you can tell he's taking nothing for granted. He's excited to be back out here. And interesting, talking to Darren Balsley, Ball said, look, there wasn't really that much to fix. He looked healthy. He threw the ball great last year. Just a little bit of rust. They worked on some sequencing, but other than that, it's the same old Tyson Ross. He expects great things out of him on the mound tonight. Coming up, Padres and Rockies, it is all Hosmer. Hosmer has it. He's been doing it with the bat. He's been doing it with the glove. Hosmer everywhere. Padres, Rockies, Tyson Ross against Kyle Freeland. Coming up next, right here on Fox Sports San Diego.
And Tyson Ross has pitched the first complete game of this 2015 season.
But on opening day in 2016, things changed. A shoulder injury knocked him out for the entire season. After a rough stint with the Rangers, Ross has returned to San Diego, earning a coveted rotation spot in the spring. Tonight he takes to the hill at Petco Park once again, aiming to take the first steps in rejuvenating his career. Padres and Rockies next. And it's right now as we welcome inside Petco Park in San Diego. Blue skies above. It's time now for the weather report, brought to you by your always sunny San Diego Honda dealers. 63 degrees as we get it started. Northwest breeze at 8 miles per hour. Don Orsillo, Mark Grant, and Bob Scanlon with you tonight as the Padres and Rockies get ready for Game 2 of the series. Bud Black back in town with his Rockies, and we check out his starting 9 tonight. Charlie Blackmon at the top of the order, and in center field with DJ LeMahieu at second base. Nolan Arenado is at third base, batting third. Carlos Gonzalez in right field with Gerardo Parra in left. Trevor Story at shortstop, bat six, with Chris Iannetta doing the catching. Ryan McMahon gets a start at first base. Ian Desmond out of the lineup at least to start the game, and Kyle Freeland, the pitcher, out of the 9 spot. Tyson Ross on the hill tonight for the Padres.
The adrenaline's got to be pumping. He is happy to be having Padres on his chest, making the first start. It's been a while. 2-4 seam fastball, the cutter and the slider. A big key for Tyson Ross. Every pitch that he throws, he can throw it at any time. First pitch, 2-0, breaking ball. Location's very, very key. It's a big night for the veteran right-hander.
Well, Charlie Blackmon about to lead it off here for the Rockies. You got to keep an eye on him as he stands in there. Already 4 home runs on the year. Blackmon, a very dangerous hitter, and off to a .375 start to begin the year. 6 for 16 out of the gate. That's in there for a strike, and it evens at 1-1.
Oh, you know, it's only the second pitch of the ball game. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Falling behind 1-0, he throws a slider for a strike to even the count.
This is the start of last year. Blackmon has hit at .377 against the Padres. 6 homers, 19 games against the Padres since the start of 2017. And breakdown 29 for 77 at the plate. In there by A.J. Ellis. Called the ball.
Good eye, good plate coverage, knows the strike zone, foul pole to foul pole. Talking about Charlie Blackmon.
In the air to right field, sending Renfroe back a few strides. Almost to the edge of the track, but he's there for out number 1.
Here's a look at the Padres defense, brought to you by your San Diego County Ford dealers. Since he squeezed that first out, Ken O'Corn in right field, Hunter Renfroe in center field, Manuel Margot, Jose Perella in left. On the infield, let's go first to third tonight. Hosmer, Asuaje, Galvis, Villanueva behind the dish, squatting like a frog tonight. A.J. Ellis catching Tyson Ross.
1 down here in the first inning brings up DJ LeMahieu. Mayhew, the second baseman and the batting champion the year before last, representing the National League. 4 for 14 so far out of the gate at .286. Tyson Ross wants a new baseball and gets one.
I remember John Smoltz always used to do that. No matter what, 2-0, he'd exchange the egg, get a new egg. Call it superstitious, if you will.
Didn't like the first 2?
No.
Big shift on here for LeMahieu as he'll take it downstairs. The center fielder, Manuel Margot, well into right center. And how about Perella? How far off the line he is in left? Well, ball 4 and a 4-pitch walk. DJ LeMahieu down to first with 1 down. Let's take a look at the keys to the game, brought to you by your San Diego Honda dealers.
Well, got to get off the schneid. Hopefully Tyson Ross can be the stopper. So be free at the plate. Offense, let's bust it out tonight, right? Get some offense going, get an early lead for Tyson Ross, and land the big blow. Maybe a 2-run shot. Hey, why not a grand slam? But you see what I did there? Freeland. Who's pitching for the Rockies tonight?
That would be Kyle Freeland on
there
the other
go.
side.
You're coachable.
1 out, 1 on for Nolan Arenado.
He's trying to mix it up a little bit.
I noticed that you also did the defense from right to left instead of left to right. It was different. It was something. Arenado 4 for 15 out of the gate. 267 so far. You know that won't last long. No problem for Ross here in the first inning. He has been behind. Got behind Blackmon 3-1. Walked LeMahieu on 4 pitches and now falling behind Arenado.
We saw that last night with Brian Mitchell as well. And I'm sure Tyson Ross was up in the video room watching pitches to these Rockies hitters. 1 good ground ball. Could turn 2 here to get out of the inning.
Liner to right and Renfroe on the move. Renfroe diving out there and right to make the catch. Fires to first, trying to double off LeMahieu. Nice grab by Hunter Renfroe in right field for out number 2.
This is something that pitchers really appreciate. Hunter Renfroe, this ball off the right-handed bat of Arenado is slicing towards the line. He's got a good beat on it. Last second, he dives, grabs it, and a tip of the cap from the veteran right-hander. You betcha. That's a big league play.
2 down in the inning. LeMahieu back to the bag at first, and it brings up Carlos Gonzalez. Gonzalez in the cleanup spot tonight for the Rockies. And taken off there was LeMahieu, but then he stopped and dives back to the bag. No throw from Ross. He bluffed in that direction, but had he been looking over there, would have had LeMahieu.
And Tyson Ross looked like he stepped back off the rubber, and at that point you don't have to throw to first base. If you pivot in front of it, you have to throw back to first base. But he did the quick step back off the rubber and faked the throw.
Working here with 2 down, LeMahieu at first. Carlos Gonzalez at 294 to start the night.
Don, that catch may have saved a run. If that hits off his
Absolutely.
glove and rattles around, sure there was only 1 out, but still that's a good chance that ball rattles around and the Rockies are on the board.
Taking inventory on the body right now, and have nicked up that hand diving. He robs Nolan Arenado of what appeared to be extra bases. Another throw over and LeMahieu back. Last time Tyson Ross was on this mound, opening day 2016 against the LA Dodgers. Tough outing for him. At that point we had no idea that we would not see him the remainder of the season, or until tonight for that matter, with a stop in Texas in between.
Remember, there was hope that he was going to start a throwing program, that he was going to be back by this certain date, and then it just got pushed back. Ultimately not to see action again.
And surgery for the thoracic outlet syndrome following that start. It's non-tendered by the Padres. Signed with the Rangers last year. Signed a minor league deal with the Padres in December of this year. Ends up winning the 5th spot in the rotation during spring training. His numbers here in 4 years with the Padres, 26 and 35, and an ERA of just over 3.16, and of course was an all-star in 2014. On the ground with the shift on, it's a Suaje, and short right is going to throw him out. Threw a seed to first base, and Hosmer. Oh, and a catch by Hunter Renfroe in this inning. Keeps the Rockies off the scoreboard in the first, thanks to Hunter Renfroe. Padres are coming up. Brought to you by Jack in the Box. This season, Padres home runs score free Jumbo Jacks only at Jack in the Box. By your Southern California Cadillac dealers. And by Petco, where the pets go. Well, nice catch by Hunter Renfroe. Highlights the top of the first inning for Andy Green. And the Padres trying to secure their first win of the year, as Manuel Margot leads it off here in the bottom of the first inning. And takes a look at a high strike for strike one. 2 for 16 out of the gate for Margot. And a grounder right side to LeMahieu. There's the first out here at the bottom of the first inning. Let's check out the Padres lineup, brought to you by your San Diego County Toyota dealers. Well, Margot just led off. He's the center fielder. Jose Perello's in left field. Eric Hosmer at first base. Hunter Renfroe is in right. Christian Villanueva getting a start at third base with Freddie Galvis at short. Carlos Suaje at second base. A.J. Ellis again added to the lineup after Austin Hedges still experiencing some upper back tightness out of the lineup again tonight. And Tyson Ross batting out of the 9 spot. Here is Jose Perella. 5 for 19 so far in the young season, hitting at .263. And the recipient of strike 1.
Had quite a rookie year last year. Kyle Freeland. 11 victories for the kid. And he's from Denver. Was born there. How about that?
33 overall appearances, 28 starts for him, and a 4.10 earned run average for Freeland. Perella cranks it foul and evens a count 2-2.
A little bit more info on the left-hander Freeland. We mentioned he's from Denver, born there. 4-seamer, 2-seamer, the cut fastball, changeup and slider. With 2 strikes, he likes to throw that cutter and get it into the kitchen of the right-handers and get that weak ground ball possibly on the left side of the infield.
Off the hill is Freeland. He plants and throws in time to get Perella 2 down.
Check the defense for the Rockies behind Freeland, and that defense is brought to you by Cadillac. Right to left, Gonzalez, 3-time All-Star, 3 Gold Gloves. 2-time All-Star Charlie Blackmon in center. Gerardo Parra, 2-time Gold Glover. First to third, we've got McMahon, 9th game, only his 4th start in the big leagues. LeMahieu, Story, and Arenado Iannetta behind the dish.
2 down here in the first inning, and it brings up Eric Hosmer. Look out, up and in to Haas. Hosmer is 6 for 16 so far in the season at .375.
Hey.
Again coming in. Hosmer kind of looking out there.
The fastball is probably going to top out about 92, 93-ish for Kyle Freeland.
He's tried to bust him in twice. Drops that in there for a strike, and it's 2-1.
There's that cut fastball at 87.
Hosmer was hitless on opening day, but since then gone 6 for 12. Swing and a miss on a pitch headed away. That was kind of nasty. Evens up at 2-2.
See how far in off the plate he goes to Hosmer, and then with that cut fastball way off the plate, all upper body from Eric Hosmer on that cut fastball.
Hosmer up over the mound, charging in from third on the run is Arenado, and he just gets it there in time to retire Hosmer and to end the first. Done with 1 without a score tonight. Second inning back at Petco Park in San Diego without a score. Gerardo Parra about to lead it off here for the visiting Rockies. Game 2 of the series. And Tyson Ross back on the mound again and deals with ball 1. Gerardo Parra getting a start in the left field. Off to a 188 start. 3 for 16 so far on the year. Now, one of the problems for Tyson Ross last year when he was in Texas is that he walked more than he struck out. Ended up walking 37, striking out 36. It was in 49 innings for the Rangers last year, but clearly he's been a different guy and back to being himself.
See, that tells me he's not right.
Exactly.
He's guiding, he's trying to nitpick. When you have numbers like that, more walks than normal, to me, you're being tentative and you're hoping that they put the ball in play, hit it right at somebody.
In the dirt, and it evens at 2-2. Outfield playing for Parr to go the other way. Parra fouls it off the catcher. A.J. Ellis again. He got hit a few times last night. Parra, Story, and Iannetta scheduled to bat here in inning number 2 for the Colorado Rockies. Rockies took 12 of the 19 meetings last year between the Padres and the Rockies. There's a grounder softly hit towards Suaje. Tires Parra for the first out of the second inning, and let's check in with Bob Scanlon.
Don, the Padres, of course, missing a couple of their regular starters today. We'll start with Will Myers. Left the ball game yesterday with soreness in his tricep area that resonated down into the elbow. They actually did an x-ray on the elbow. No structural damage whatsoever, so they think that it is purely something muscular. They're hoping that it can resolve itself. No concern at this point. He is available to hit if necessary, but they're trying to avoid having him throw. As for Austin Hedges, the soreness in the upper back is still there. It's not at a point where he can't play, guys. If he needed to catch on an emergency base, if something was to happen to A.J. Ellis, he could catch, he can possibly hit. They're trying to give him some rest at this point and hopes to be back in the ball game tomorrow. As for Dinelson Lamet, they did do an MRI. They have not been able to release any of the results of that yet. We'll keep you updated.
All right, Scan, thanks very much. Some key injuries here for the Padres, and no DL situations, but still kind of nagging and situation here with both Myers and Hedges. And Hedges took a BP today, felt okay, but then went to throw, and it sounded like that's when it started to tighten up into him again.
Just because you're not in the lineup doesn't mean you still can't learn. He is on the bench. We saw him sitting with Chase Headley and Clayton Richard, and Austin's got some scouting reports in his hand. He's going over the hitters. I mean, you could still learn, right? They play these guys, what, 18, 19 times during the year. You're going to see him quite a bit.
That'll drop in there for strike 2 to Trevor Story. Story off to a slow start of the plate. 2 for 16.
I think 2-2 here. Tyson Ross has got to flip that slider up there, hopefully for a swing and miss.
Liner to center at Margot. Makes the catch right at him. 2 down.
Went with the heater. Been a man out there for over 150 years. Center fielder. That's a hang with him.
Well, 2 down here in the second brings up Chris Iannetta. Veteran catcher, 5 for 11. Off to a good start to begin the year. And of course, last year, member of the Arizona Diamondbacks. On the ground right side, Suaje ranges over. And a nice inning for Tyson Ross. A 1-2-3 second. Inning and a half done. We come back. It'll be Hunter Renfroe leading it off for the Padres. Scoreless contest, game 2 of the series. Back with the bottom of the second after this.
Watch every out-of-market regular season game live at home, in the office, or on the go with MLB.tv. Your subscription includes MLB At-Bat Premium, allowing you to watch live baseball on your favorite supported devices. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Be sure to visit MLB.tv for details.
Last of the second, and as promised, here is Hunter Renfroe. Takes strike one. Renfroe talking it over with Bruce Streckman, home plate umpire. 1 for 6 out of the gate for Hunter. Getting another start in right field in the absence of Will Myers. That's a strike. Renfroe, Villanueva, and Galvis scheduled to bat in the inning. It's Kyle Freeland on the mound tonight for the Rockies. First start of this year.
Well, he is not afraid to bear that fastball inside to the right-handed hitters. And if you notice, when he comes in off the plate, he did it to Eric Hosmer, way off the plate, then he'd go away. That last pitch to Hunter Renfroe, in off the plate. Does he go down and away here? Maybe with a changeup.
He worked on developing a curveball in the offseason, so he wants to be able to use it in any count. His curveball just 3.8% of the time during last year's campaign.
2-2 count, even in the count, he will fall in love with that cut fastball.
And it drops in for strike 3. First strikeout for Freeland of the night. One down here in the second inning.
Caught him looking for the first strikeout, but how did it start? Let's go back. Lefty on righty. First pitch. Ooh, he got the call. Outside, inside. Fastball in, fastball at the belt buckle. Make him move a little bit. Down and in. The fish ain't biting for Hunter. Freeze piece right on the inside corner at 93. So in and out, out and in. Got him looking.
One down here in the second brings up Christian Villanueva.
I guess the one thing Freeland is not trying to do is fall into a pattern, right? Going in and out, back and forth, mixing it up. I like his tempo too.
In 4 games last year for him against the Padres. So 1-1 with a 5.40 ERA. Freeland gave up 8 earned runs in 13 1/3 against San Diego. Not a strikeout guy. In fact, the lowest strikeout percentage. Right-handed pitcher, 3rd in that category. So a lot of balls in play, a lot of contact.
Yeah, minor leagues and big leagues alike, and he's getting calls off that outside corner.
I'd keep going out there if I was him.
Why not? Okay, so Iannetta given the sign. The 2-seamer, fastball, in.
It's going to be in a way, but dancing out of the way.
It's got 4-seam action to it. Maybe that is a 4-seamer. Looked pretty straight. Number 3.
And it's driven deep and far to left field. Christian Villanueva takes it out of the yard. Off the Western Meadow Supply Company building in left field. Puts the Padres on top 1-0.
Pitch, cut fastball right down the middle of the plate. Oh, it's got that sound. And he put it in the upper basket. Put it in the basket. Ball's crushed.
First home run of the year, first hit of the year, and a blast for Christian Villanueva. Freddie Galvis fouls it back and is down 0-2.
That cut fastball 3-2 right into the swing path of Christian Villanueva. Couldn't have been a more pretty swing. Wow.
Now Galvis strikes out, so Freeland comes back. Picks up his second strikeout of the inning and of the outing. 2 down. Bring up Carlos Suaje.
I've always thought the sign of a good pitcher is being able to erase it from the hard drive and how quickly you can get another out after a big hit like that. Well, that's some good pitching against Galvis after the solo shot to get 2 outs.
So 2 down brings up Carlos Suaje. 4 for 15 so far.
Ooh, thought that was going to get him. It was almost as if I was going to get that one in the ribs.
Kyle Freeland ended up with the 5th spot in the Rockies rotation over Antonio Sensatella. I saw a lot of last year. I mentioned the 11 wins for Freeland. He's tied with teammate German Marquez for most among major league rookies last year. And Black choosing him for the 5th spot in the rotation. All behind here, 2-0.
How about these Rockies? And you speak of those rotation that you're talking about. 4 of the 5 homegrown Rockies. This kid, Chad Bettis, we saw last night, Tyler Anderson, and John Gray. 4 of the 5 homegrown Rockies.
A bit of a cross up there, it appeared. 3-1. Suaje will take the walk with 2 down. First free pass served up by Kyle Freeland.
How about this? Expanding on the rotation. John Gray, 1st round 2013. Tyler Anderson, 1st round 2011. Chad Bettis, 2nd round 2010. This kid Freeland, 1st round 2014.
So some good picks. 2 down. Suaje at first. A.J. Ellis starting back-to-back games with Hedges unable to go. Upper back tightness. There is strike 1. Last year with the Marlins, backing up JT Realmuto, 6 homers, 14 runs batted in, and .210 average for A.J. Ellis. Throw over, and Suaje, whose lead was very small, gets back to the bag. A bigger lead now for Suaje. A little bit high, and it's Ellis jumping ahead here. 2-1.
Boy, after every pitch, new first base coach Skip Schumacher is in the ear of Carlos Suaje. He knows everything about the move of Kyle Freeland, what to look for.
Time now for our Valley View Casino trivia question.
I love trivia.
A.J. Ellis recorded his first career Major League Baseball hit against the Rockies. In what year did he get that hit?
Do you know the answer?
I don't. Close pitch, called a ball.
I think this is AJ's 10th year, correct? His 10th season in the big leagues. I'm going to guess anywhere around 2011 or 12.
Okay.
And of course, you're cheating right off the bat, going right to the media guide.
And I'm going to tell you, you are wrong. Wrong. Popped up left side of the infield. Trevor Story will stagger and make the catch. It ends the inning. Christian Villanueva with a long home run to left field, his first home run of the year, puts the Padres on top 1-0. It's into the basket. 1-0 San Diego.
Back. I'm thrilled to see him back pitching well. I think that game in Glendale versus the Dodgers kind of cemented everything in my mind that I was seeing through spring training, that this guy's worked incredibly hard to fight back from a shoulder injury and shoulder surgery, and his stuff is back, and his stuff is really good. And you know, last year he was searching for himself, and he still kept stepping on the rubber every time, giving everything he absolutely had. Now he's found himself again, and I'm glad it's in a Padres uniform.
That's Andy Green talking about the return of Tyson Ross, and as he noted, it was not a given that Tyson was going to be in the starting rotation on opening day, guys. He earned that spot, and one of the things that Andy was really impressed with was not only the quality of his stuff when he was on, but he had an outing where he didn't have his best stuff, still got guys out. That was the determining factor. So far, he's looking good tonight, guys. Back over to you.
All right, Scan, thanks very much. He's retired 6 in a row now and has one down here in the 3rd inning.
We mentioned the numbers last year in Texas when the walks were way up for Tyson. Well, quite frankly, probably wasn't right. Experiencing some pain, not the same arm slot, being a little tentative, trying to hit the corners, therefore more walks, right? But when you're healthy, and Bob can elaborate on this as well, not only is your arm free and easy, but your mind is free and easy. When you know everything's right, you're clear between the ears, and you know you have confidence in your stuff. You can get through your pitches. You can really snap them off without even thinking about it, and that goes a long way.
Back up the middle into center field, a base hit for Kyle Freeland, the pitcher. Well, first hit of the night for the Rockies comes from their pitcher. Time for the Kia drive to success. Charlie Blackmon coming up. Highest OPS in a season. Blackmon at .999, all-time among leadoff hitters. Erstad back in 2000 at .949. Pete Rose, Jacoby Ellsbury. What do you got on E. Combs back in 1927?
Oh, that guy could rake.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of extra base hits. He was a gap-to-gap hitter. Don't hang a breaking ball to him because he'll be standing on second base with a double down the line.
Did you face him?
I have not.
No.
But OPS, on base, and slugging percentage combined, just basically tells you, you know, when he puts the ball in play, chances are there's going to be extra bases or he hits one over the wall. Plain and simple, right?
Blackmon out ahead of this.
No, cricket, that's a sixer.
I don't know anything about cricket.
Really?
No, nothing.
Oh, it's a great sport.
Really? What is a sixer?
A sixer is, you know, the wall is all the way around you, and the pitch is in the middle. So you can foul, literally, a foul ball in baseball is a live ball in cricket.
Really?
And if you hit it over the wall, it's 6 runs.
Wow. Here it's a foul ball.
Yeah, doesn't count.
No, 1-1. Trying to stay inside on Blackmon, not a bad idea.
And when a batter hits the ball wherever, you know, they can manipulate that flat bat to where they actually hit it behind them just so they make contact, and they run from the wickets back and forth for runs.
Tyson Ross had retired 6 in a row and 8 of the first 9. Freeland gaining a short lead at first base, held on over there by Hosmer. And there he is, ball 4, so he walks Blackmon this time. Second walk allowed by Ross on the night.
Such a good eye. That last pitch, it was a breaking ball down, but as if Blackmon didn't even offer at it.
So 2 on, 1 away, and DJ LeMahieu coming up. LeMahieu walked in the first inning, getting his second look at Tyson Ross. Second time through here now as the Rockies line up for Ross. By Ellis, close pitch, called the ball.
Freeland has been getting that call off the plate.
Tyson has had trouble getting ahead. He is 2 of the first 11 first pitch strikes. Falls behind here, 2-0. Mayhew winning the batting title in 2016, hitting at .348. And here comes Darren Balsley out to the mound.
Well, maybe sometimes Tyson Ross has a tendency to maybe be a little bit too herky-jerky with his delivery and cut pitches off sometimes. I remember talking to Darren the last time that Tyson was here, and he wouldn't free his front side. His front side would kind of stay closed a little bit. It would be hard to get up and over and out to extend on his pitches. Might be the case there. Might be something totally different.
Now runners at first and second, one down, and he has fallen behind LeMahieu here, 2-0. Good hitters count for a good hitter.
Good time for a double play ball.
And again, this familiar shift on for the Padres against LeMahieu. Kind of exaggerated. In there for a strike, 2-1. Well, he was getting the arms out of the way.
Look at the action on this pitch. That's a two-seam fastball. Right on the inner half for a strike.
And grounded out to begin the inning. Freeland with a single to center. Blackman walked. 2 on, 1 away. And DJ LeMahieu ahead in the count here, 3-1. Ball 4, and that'll load him up here for the Rockies. Second walk of the inning. Well, the Rockies had a real opportunity in the first inning. But Nolan Arenado coming up and driving this one to right field, but over to make the play, Hunter Renfroe, the diving catch out there in the right field corner.
The first step is so important. You saw the distance that he had to go. That's a great read off the bat. Why? Right-handed hitter. That ball is slicing towards the right field line. You got to get up and go get it. And laying out is Hunter Renfroe for the big out.
Big spot here for Nolan Arenado. Tough guy to have up right now. The bases loaded and 1 out. Tyson Ross trying to work his way around a base hit and back-to-back walks. Here you see Freeland, Blackman, and LeMahieu on, and Arenado lines it down the left field line to the corner. From third, Freeland will score. Blackman behind him, and trying to score from first base is LeMahieu. Throw the plate will be in time. He is out at the plate, but 2 runs do get in. Good cutoff there. Good relay to the plate. Arenado ended up at third base.
Well, you're flirting with disaster when you fall behind. Arenado down the line, everybody's off and running. Now here's the throw to the plate. You know, it's interesting because did that throw move A.J. Ellis into the lane? Because when he caught the ball, it looked like he was blocking home plate right there, right? But he had to go get the ball. He was anchored out in front of home plate. Then he has to go get the baseball, and that throw brought him over in front of home plate. Doesn't look like the Rockies are doing anything about it. It's a big out at home plate after scoring 2.
And the throw definitely beats him there. The ball got there ahead of his arrival.
Right.
So you are able to block the plate as long as you have the ball, and it appeared that was the case. Now, as Carlos Gonzalez now bats, it's a double for Arenado on the 2 RBIs and takes third on the throw to the plate. Carlos Gonzalez's second plate appearance. He grounded out to second in the first. Now a liner to left field, and Perella's coming in to make the diving catch. At first, making that grab to end the inning. Pair of runs scored by the Rockies in the inning put Colorado on top 2-1, but a nice catch by Perella coming head first to make this grab.
Lead things off, and we're joined right now by his better half, his wife Ashley. Ashley, thanks so much for joining us. And how exciting is it to see Tyson back out on the field and in a Padres uniform?
It's super exciting, a little bit nerve-wracking. It almost feels like his big league debut again, but it's really nice to see him back out there.
Did he get any sleep last night, or just too nervous?
He got all the sleep. I was the one that wasn't sleeping and nervous, but he's just like normal. He's back on his schedule and everything going as expected.
You know, it's been such an interesting road for you guys over the last 2 years. 2016, he's the opening day starter for the Padres, has a rough outing, has some shoulder tenderness, and then it just turns into all kinds of other stuff. Tell us about the process of finding out that he needed thoracic outlet surgery.
Basically, we went pretty much most of the season without really knowing what was going on. He tried to rehab a little bit and would always kind of climb that mountain, and he was never able to get over the hump completely. So at that point, we went and got a second opinion, a third opinion, multiple doctor's appointments and tests and everything we could possibly do. And finally, we were able to go out to St. Louis and see the doctor who ended up diagnosing him with thoracic outlet, and like that, 2 weeks later, we were in surgery.
We hear that story so often where guys go undiagnosed. Actually, relatively speaking, he didn't go 2 or 3 years like Chris Young did or Clayton Richard. Did he talk to them at all? Was there some hint to look for that?
He talked to Clayton a lot about it, and Clayton for sure told him, I think you have thoracic outlet. You should definitely look into it and get all of those tests done and cross that off your list if it's not that. But he was able to talk to Clayton a lot about it and the recovery and everything that went along with it. So he was really helpful for us.
A long road back, and how exciting was it to get that opportunity to return to San Diego?
It was amazing. San Diego's been our favorite city. It's nice to be closer to home. We were in Texas last year in uncharted territory, and it's just nice to be back in San Diego where a lot of special things have happened for us here.
And not just professionally, you guys had your engagement pictures taken out here at Petco Park, so a lot of personal connections for you guys.
Yes, and we also got married in Carlsbad, so it's been a special city for us.
Now, you're not the only member of the Ross family here tonight. His brother Joe out here as well. Tell us about how Joe was able to get out here, why he's here.
Yes, Joe was actually able to get a couple of days off from his physical therapy that he's going through with Tommy John, and they gave him a couple of days off to come out here, and he's able to see his brother start, which is great. And Tyson's parents are here, my mom is here, so it's just really nice to have that support system.
Great to have the Ross family back in San Diego. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Guys, back over to you.
All right, Scan, thanks very much.
That's great, isn't it?
That's awesome.
Such a good story. You know, speaking of that surgery, I remember Chris Young prior to the surgery, he would always have problems. He'd had tingling in his fingertips.
Really?
Tori, he would actually, I remember a couple times he'd go into his windup and have the ball come out of his glove, and he would lose grip of the ball. I mean, he'd drop the ball on the mound.
Wow.
And you'd see him in the dugout, and he would be having like a hot pack, one of those little hot packs that, you know, you break the seal and it kind of, you know, gets hot for his fingertips. And what do you know? After all the research, thoracic outlet.
Well, Pirela retired 5-3 in order. Go the Padres. 2-1 Rockies. seats in the house, and they really are the best seats in the house. How comfortable is that? And you got a TV right in front of you as well.
Wow.
I could fall asleep, I think, if I was down there.
Maybe Jerry can send a few of those to our house.
That'd be nice.
I'm serious. You laugh.
Yeah, I'm not laughing. I think it's a great idea. Hopefully Jerry agrees.
Social sparklers. Padre fans.
Yeah. On the ground down the line, under the diving glove of Hosmer, into the right field corner as Parra is thinking two. Renfroe will dig it out, but Parra at second base with a double to begin things here in the fourth inning. Third hit of the night for Colorado. That's great to have Mark Sweeney back with us again tonight.
Good to see you guys.
I've always liked the way Gerardo Parra, Mark, goes after certain type pitches. He can turn on pitches and takes advantage of that hanging breaking ball in.
Yeah, he looks forward. This is the toughest play as a first baseman, the left-handed first baseman going across your body and that dive down the line, because that position is really tailor-made to be left-handed for all other plays.
So a double here for Parra to open up the fourth inning, and it brings up Trevor Story. Your thoughts on Tyson Ross at this point?
You know, this puts a smile on all our faces, guys, of what he has been through. Obviously, you heard the story with his wife, which I thought was awesome. But for Tyson and his work ethic, I think it is a need for this roster, for them to be able to see what he's gone through, but also the ability. 2014, he was a workhorse, and he earned every bit of it, and it has a lot to do with his work ethic.
Well, the former All-Star, former ace of the Padres, and we really thought we were going to see him again in 2016 after that opening day start. Just a matter of time, but never did. Not until tonight. Not after he was in a different uniform in between.
I remember learning certain things when I was younger. You know, you think you're going to be invincible and you're not going to get hurt, right? But then you play with veteran guys. And I remember asking veteran players who had had surgery bouncing back, you don't realize how hard it is until you have to bounce back from a surgery. And I think that goes a long way. Tyson, his actions, like you mentioned, Mark, staying in shape, bouncing back to these younger guys who have yet to experience and hopefully never experience getting hurt. But it shows something to the young guys. Man, this guy's been around. He's 31 years old. He works his tail off. Hey, it's easier to get to the big leagues than it is to stay.
Yeah.
And from what he's been through, I think he's something really special to have on the team for the young players.
Yeah, it's the example, and I think you can't really go understated that you need guys that are on the roster like that. Clayton Richard is exactly that as well.
The bunt bid fouled off. There's so many young arms in spring training this year too. The guys who were there, the Caseys and others that were around all spring training. Very important for them to kind of look up to a guy like Tyson Ross. And there's so many of those situations this year with the Padres, with Hosmer being here, A.J. Ellis being here, Chase Headley being here.
You know, Don, to your point, so many people out there might go, that's not a big deal. You know, give me more of the ability. Give me the guys that are coming up here. You have to be molded, because you come into the big leagues and you feel like you know everything. You're just learning. You're just starting, especially at this level.
Even for the guys that aren't here on the roster yet, but were around in spring training, who will be here in the near future, next year, the year after. I'm sure there was somebody in your career that probably helped you figure out how to do this on a daily basis.
Yeah, I had a lot, and I asked a lot of questions because and why I did that is because I was the youngest of 4 boys, so I knew I had to ask questions. It was easier for me to seek that out, where some guys, they don't want to ask questions. They don't want to bother certain guys.
Popped up, foul ground. A.J. Ellis headed over, but he won't have a play. It seems like that has changed in recent history in Major League Baseball too, in that perhaps an era ago there were guys that would not really kind of take rookies under their wings, almost as if you're taking my job or you may take my job. A little bit different, it seems like, in this day and age in Major League Baseball.
Seems like guys are more receptive and being able to relate to one another on a more even keel type thing, not looking down and on those young players, essentially wanting to help. I think the percentage is higher of guys wanting to really show guys the right way how to do things nowadays.
Trevor Story batting here with a count of 2-2. Runner at second.
I remember coming up in 1984. There were guys that you didn't even look them in the eye.
Yeah.
That was my point, I think.
I think I missed that part of it, though, and I'll tell you why. It might sound weird, but I liked the thought that you had to come in and know where you were supposed to be, and you had to learn that. There were certain things that you could do and respect their time, because there were certain guys that would have fun.
Runner goes, and a grounder left side has Galvis charging in. Got to hurry. His throw will be just in time. No, it won't. Safe at first base as Trevor Story beats it out. And taking third is Parra, and all of a sudden runners at the corners.
Guys, what I saw in that ground ball, it's not hit that hard, but Freddie Galvis, he looked to third briefly, very briefly. Watch when he grounds right here, catches it. There's the look, you know, on the transfer. Then you have to credit Story for getting down that line quickly, because he knew with Galvis at shortstop, there was a chance that he could have been thrown out.
Chad Fairchild took a good long look before making the safe sign. First and third, nobody out. Chris Iannetta coming up here with a chance to do some damage. Well, I guess what you're talking about, Swing Dog, a little bit too, is you don't want to be hurt, I guess, as a rookie coming up.
Yeah, and I think there's certain times that you have to earn those stripes, and I miss that element of it. And I don't think it has that, to your point, Mark. It doesn't have that element to the game of baseball now. Now it is comfort. How can we have these guys come from AA, maybe AAA, and be comfortable in their opportunity at the big league level? I don't mind that at all. I liked it the way when we came up, how you had to earn that respect. I thought there was an element that I just appreciated.
Parra at third, Story at first.
I remember also, to take it a step further, I was deathly afraid of my coaching staff and my manager, Frank Robinson. I stayed clear. And if they told me to jump, I said, how high? But now, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but nowadays, you know, we've got, and once again, I want to clarify, it's not a bad thing. You've got coaches and managers texting players to see how, and I think that's a good thing, to find out how you're doing.
Totally different.
It's totally different.
Well, the communication is so elevated, because you have to have that. There's so many guys, and especially it's platooning. There's all so many elements now that they're worried about with the communication part. They want every player wants to know. And if you think back, I wondered when I was going to get my next start, if it was going to be a month from now, because there wasn't a communication. Hey, you're going to start on Sunday. There weren't too many managers that would end up doing that. Bobby Cox is probably the only one that would do that.
Could you imagine Billy Martin calling Reggie Jackson during the offseason? Hey, Reg, how you doing? Just checking in. Not going to happen.
Nah, I mean, it's totally different. I'm thinking of all the old school managers and how terrified guys were of Dick Williams and some of those guys. I mean, I don't think that exists today. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know of any managers that players are terrified of.
Mark, my first manager in the big leagues was Frank Robinson. Hall of Famer, MVP both leagues, deathly afraid.
Intimidator.
Oh, my goodness.
My first real manager was Tony La Russa, and he called me out because I made a bad mistake coming around third base. He looked for me in the locker room and pulled me aside, and I will never forget this conversation ever. And he basically told me I was selfish, and I had to listen to him. And I've never played a selfish game, in my opinion, so I had to listen to him while I'm getting intimidated. I'm like, am I getting released here? What's happening? It was one of those things. He had to intimidate you, but he wanted to check who he had there. Was I going
He's probably testing you too?
Yes, I love the test.
So how'd you do? What was your reaction? Did you tell him that you've never been that selfish guy?
I literally said to him at the end of it, I said, all due respect, I've never had somebody tell me I've been selfish, but I understand your point. I made a mistake, and I will not make it again. Did I make it again? Of course. But it's one of those things that I couldn't just let him just berate me. I did it with respect, but I was intimidated. And to your point, that's what happens.
Runner goes at first. Liner to left's in for a base hit. Throw goes to third, and he is out at third base. Run does score as Parra gets in and puts the Rockies on top 3-1. And it sounded like a broken bat, perhaps, into left field.
You know, we're seeing some good defense tonight. Earlier, before the ball game, these outfielders threw the bases. Well, why you do that is because you start practicing all of that. And the good tag by Villanueva. You used to have the infield, outfield plays, throwing the bases. Well, that's what the Padres did earlier work today, and it's showing. The defense is coming out.
That was a great technique by Perella in left field, catching that ball and then squaring up and throwing that ball to third base.
1 out, 1 on, a run in. Ryan McMahon, the batter, and he takes strike 1.
You know, you can anticipate, and Mark, you played the outfield, that ball's going to bounce in front of you, right? You can still position yourself to where you get it, and when you catch it, you're still in that throwing position to where you don't catch it and then you square up your shoulders.
Sharply hit, but foul outside of first base. We're excited about this guy, Ryan McMahon, getting the start tonight at first base. He and Desmond off tonight. And grounded out to Christian Villanueva at third base in the 3rd inning. Yeah, swing and a miss here, and a pitch down and in, kind of buried it. First strikeout of the night for Tyson Ross. It's out number 2 of the inning. Time now to answer our Valley View Casino trivia question. A.J. Ellis recorded his first career major league hit against the Rockies. What year did he get that hit? And it was 2009, October the 4th. Was off Jason Marquis.
Sinker slider. Jason Marquis.
He was a battler.
Oh, I loved him.
Here's Kyle Freeland. Fair ball. And jumping out there is A.J. Ellis. Clears the runner and throws him out. Another run for the Rockies. They take a 3-1 lead. Baseball. Well, Ohtani pitching over the weekend against the Oakland A's and now hitting. It's a home run. First career major league home run. Then he got the silent treatment when he arrived at the dugout. And then they finally acknowledged his home run. First in the big leagues for Ohtani.
Looks like he's starting his own party there in the dugout.
I'm going to celebrate by myself.
Hey, first win, first home run. It's all good.
That's so great. I think that's going to be the biggest story potentially in the game of baseball, because Mike Scioscia has to create opportunities for him to get at bats, but also first inning in his first start 100 miles an hour to go along with a split finger and the slider.
Is that good?
Oh, look like he's playing catch.
Yeah.
Also on here to the 4th inning, and Kyle Freeland back on the mound, having tired the last 4 Padres in a row. His offense collects another run, and it is 3-1 Rockies. Here into the bottom of the 4th. Hosmer, Renfroe, and Villanueva scheduled to bat in the inning. Pitch 49 of the night for Freeland. He was staying inside to Hosmer and Eric's first at bat, and he grounded out to third base. Those hard hit balls by a left-handed batter, third in that category.
Well, you watch Eric Hosmer now, then how he constructs an at bat. That cutter that he took the first pitch, he swung at in his first at bat. Now he gets to 2-0. This is what you got to love, and if you're watching on the bench, how he constructs an at bat, the adjustments that you make in game. That's what impresses you the most. He stays within the strike zone.
And a 4-pitch walk. Down to first base goes Hosmer. Second walk allowed by Freeland, and first time the Padres have had the lead runner on. Visit to the mound here for Chris Iannetta. This will be the first charged visit. And taking note of that is Bruce Streckman. Padres have been charged with a visit already. So he'll alert the press box and both managers. And Renfroe getting ready for his second at bat of the night. Struck out looking in the second inning. On the ground up the middle. Story will flip the second for one on to first. That's two. 6-4 to 3 on the double play. Christian Villanueva coming up, and he's part of our Arco top tier play. Home run for Villanueva. Got the Padres on the board in the time game, a 1-0 lead. And as Mud said, ended up in the basket up top.
Worked the count full, Mark Sweeney, and he got that cutter right into the swing path, down and in a little bit, and sent it on its way.
The lotion is in the basket.
2 down here in the fourth. It's not like Mud to recite movie lines.
No.
Never uses them. No references to movies.
You be careful what you say too, because this guy might be wearing a wire.
He was convinced last night I was wearing a wire. That's the first time in my major league career that I've been frisked. Not once, but twice during a broadcast.
Why do you think you had a wire?
I was wearing a suit that he thought was.
Whoever sold you that suit has got one sense of humor.
Yeah, so the night before he was watching Goodfellas. So now he's convinced that everybody's wearing a wire.
Oh boy.
Yeah. And this is laced down the left field line and a foul ball. Found what little foul ground there is down that left field line.
You got a wire on?
No.
What do you got this one? There's a little more extra room over here.
Yeah. No, there's no wire.
Are you sure? Come on.
I'm positive. You can check it out.
Let me see. You got any wires down there?
He's clean. He's clean.
Okay. Just checking. Just checking.
Not wearing a wire.
All right.
It's all good.
Okay.
Very stressful. 2-2 to Villanueva.
See if he keeps it away here.
In the air to left field. Back goes Parra looking up. Villanueva's got his second home run of the night. Second home run of the season. This one out of the yard to left, and the Padres are back within a run. Christian Villanueva's putting on a show tonight, San Diego.
Mark, I know when you talk hitting, you talk plate coverage. Look, first of all, he misses location. Well, you know, I take that back. He wanted it away. My point is, the first home run, 3-2, cutter in, down and in. He went out and got that one. That was on the outside part of the plate, and he hooked it with some authority.
Yeah, you have to commit yourself to look out over the plate. That really is going at that scouting report. But that's impressive. When you take an outside pitch and you can go left center here, that's legitimate power.
Padres back within a run down. Freddie Galvis will take the strike.
I think Christian went undrafted tonight too and picked the stick, correct? I was thinking about taking him, but
yeah, right.
quite a show tonight.
So what would that be?
That's 6 points times that's
It's
12
loud.
points.
It's loud noises.
Wow.
Is what it is.
It's 12 points.
Galvis will chop it to his counterpart at short. Trevor Story off balance toss in time. Solo home run for Christian Villanueva, his second home run of the night. As the Padres back within a run, it's 3-2 Rockies at the end of 4. Home run number 2 of the season and of the night.
Christian Villanueva, Tyson Ross out for his 5th inning of work. Guys, we've talked so much about thoracic outlet syndrome. What is it? Well, the thoracic outlet is a very small space that exists between your collarbone and your first rib, and in that space there's muscle, there's veins, there's nerves. Now, when it gets compressed, which can be caused by a traumatic injury or a repetitive motion like throwing a baseball, those nerves, those muscles, those veins get compressed, and it can cause problems. That is what has been going on with these guys. When undiagnosed for so many years, now they're figuring it out, and it's actually saving a lot of careers, guys. Only about 20 people have had it done, where they remove that top rib. It takes the pressure off that area. Tyson Ross had the neurogenic type, which means the nerve was compressed. Carter Capps, he had the vascular type. That's why he had that blood clot form. So good news is these guys are coming back, guys, and resuming their careers.
Dr. Scanlon, you are paged for the emergency room. Dr. Scanlon, please, immediately to the emergency room.
To the emergency room, stat. I stayed in the Holiday Inn Express last night, guys. I'm qualified.
Well, no, I thought that was very good because I have read it a few times, and it's very confusing. I thought you broke it down very well. It's back up the middle. Galvis with a nice play to change direction and is able to retire LeMahieu. Nice play by Freddie Galvis.
You know, as I was saying earlier, it's nice for these pitchers to look over their right shoulder and see Freddie Galvis. It almost like he misread that one, or did that ball kind of check up on him because he had to reach across on his right side with his glove hand. As you see here.
Yeah, Ross deflected it a little bit, changed its way. But he also did the same with his body movements. It's incredible how he handles his body. Gets himself in a perfect position to throw.
2 down here in the 5th inning, and Nolan Arenado will take ball 1. I didn't realize ribs went that high. I always thought that they hung out a little bit lower than they do. In the air to shallow right. Out goes Suaje. Renfro in. And Hunter Renfro will make the catch. Nice inning for Tyson Ross. 5-pitch inning. 3-2 Rockies. Sign up for the Padres Club Card tomorrow. And by Tough Turtle Turf, full landscape design company. Now Freeland back on the mound here for the Rockies. Into the bottom of the 5th we go. Tight one tonight. That's the Colorado Rockies, with the Rockies on top 3-2. Padres inching closer with another Villanueva home run. It's Swahe, Ellis, and Tyson Ross scheduled to bat here in the bottom of the 5th. Swahe with a walk in the 2nd. Two walks allowed tonight by Freeland. 3 strikeouts. And a liner foul. Both runs tonight provided by Christian Villanueva. Solo shot in the 2nd, solo shot in the 4th inning. Only hits the Padres have, being out hit 5-2.
You know, guys, what looms in your mind now is you understand what the Rockies' strength is. It's shortening that game. Yep. So the offense really, in this next time up, in this inning, you got to put a big inning up.
Swahe strikes out. That's the 4th strikeout for Kyle Freeland, first here of the 5th inning.
Well, after what we saw last night, Ottavino, Shaw, McGee, Russ, and then Davis. I mean, that's you're right, Mark. You got to put something together before you hit that bullpen.
Well, the Padres really have seen 2 very good bullpens to begin this year. First, the Milwaukee Brewers coming in with a great bullpen, and see the revamped Rockies bullpen this year. It seems like that is the directions that some teams went to this offseason, was really bolstering that bullpen.
Yeah, and I thought the Rockies had some good arms last year already, but then you start getting Shaw and Wade Davis. You start minimizing those innings, and these are guys that are high leverage relievers.
Ellis, that one will get by the shortstop Story. Ripped out into left center field. A.J. Ellis will take a wide turn, but a 1-out base hit here in the 5th inning for the Padres catcher.
Nice to see A.J. Ellis called into duty with Austin Hedges with the sore neck and the veteran backstop. A nice short quick swing for the safety to left center.
One down, one on, and here is Tyson Ross. Struck out swinging in the 3rd inning in his only plate appearance. Very high for ball 1.
One thing I've always said with that front door open, the right-handed hitter, after a pitch, Mark, you've run the bases before, but that snap throw, you know, A.J. Ellis does not have a big lead with the left-hander out there, but still got to be aware of that catcher with the snap throw.
Fouled it off, 1-1. Outfield very shallow. We're on Tyson Ross, batting for the 2nd time tonight. Ellis gains that lead at first base. Ryan McMahon holds him on. Ross squaring again. And he gets it down. Going to second base. Iannetta force out there, and they get it on Ellis. Nice play by Chris Iannetta, aggressively getting out there, and no hesitation. Gun down to second base. They get the force out on A.J. Ellis.
And with both of those corners crashing, it really shows the importance of putting down a bunt right in the middle of the diamond. He does that, but it deadens itself in the middle. Iannetta pounces right over the bat. Makes a nice throw to Story.
That's not an easy play by Story. He had to stay on the bag and then reach up as this ball started to sail a little bit.
And there's strike 1 to Manuel Margot. 0 for 2 tonight. He is grounded out to 2nd, grounded out to 3rd. Off to a tough start, 2 for his first 18.
Now this is the guy that they need to get going. Now staying within the strike zone. You remember last year all those multi-hit games. When Manny Margot goes, and you have that leadoff guy, that leadoff presence, when he gets hot, changes your whole offense.
Close pitch, called a ball. .76 pitches down for Freeland through 4 2/3. Short lead at first for Tyson Ross. And Margot strikes out looking. 5 strikeouts for Kyle Freeland. Through 5 tonight. 3-2 Rockies. Defensive play back in the first inning. Tyson Ross appreciated it. And Christian Villanueva gets the Padres on the board. On top 1-0. First of 2 home runs. That one into the top tank of the Western Metal Supply building. And then Arenado with the bases loaded drives this down to the left field corner. It would plate a couple of runs. Charlie Blackmon coming around. Thrown out to end that inning as it turned out. But then Christian Villanueva with his second home run of the night. Another solo shot. And the Padres inch closer. It is 3-2 right now. Rockies as we get ready to start the 6th inning. Kyle Freeland's giving up only 3 hits in 5 innings and those 2 runs. Tyson Ross 5 innings and 3 earned runs. Villanueva's 2 home runs and that big 2-run double for Nolan Arenado.
Boy, Tyson Ross really found that groove last inning. 1, 2, 3 top of the order. If he needed that, came at a great time.
A 5-pitch inning for Tyson Ross in the 5th.
And Christian Villanueva going upper basket and upper tank on those home runs.
Padres shifting here on Carlos Gonzalez on the right side of the infield. They bring their third baseman Christian Villanueva over to the right side. Only Freddie Galvis on the left side. As Ross falls behind here 3-0 and looks like another visit here for A.J. Ellis. We've seen a few. And he's going to be joined by Freddie Galvis. That is the second charged mound visit for the Padres of the game.
That's what's so good about having a guy like A.J. Ellis. He's an extension of the pitching coach, right? They're in the bullpens. It's just not Tyson Ross talking to Darren Balsley. It's A.J. Ellis talking to both Tyson Ross and Darren Balsley. So they're on the same page.
Speaking of bullpens, there is action for the first time in the Padres pen.
You know, a catcher
just started. Craig Stammen.
A catcher can pick up mechanics that are out of whack and relay them to, hey, we need to make an adjustment. And that's the biggest compliment you give your pitching coach or your catcher after a visit, firing a strike.
Next pitch will be the 75th for Tyson Ross. Popped up foul, backing out of play. Full count. He's battled back very nicely.
You know, you think about Tyson Ross and what he has on his plate tonight. You just like to have him go out with a good note, have a good taste in your mouth, especially this start.
Swing and a miss, and he battles all the way back to get Gonzalez. Nicely done by Tyson Ross. Second strikeout for Ross of the night. One down.
It's that slider we've been talking about. Starts at the heart of the plate and then down by the shoe tops. It goes to show you, deep in the count, 3-2 count, bang, slider. That's confidence in that pitch.
One down here in the 6th inning. Gerardo Parra, 1 for 2. Rolls it over foul to the end of the Padres dugout. First base way.
Now he's shaping that slider in different ways too, almost like a cutter at times. The 3-0 pitch was a cutter, and he has different depths to that slide that really make it difficult when you get 2 strikes.
Is that a changeup? One of the few changes we've seen. Talked to Darren Balsley before the game, the pitching coach for the Padres, and he said very few times he will throw a changeup. Not a bad look-see pitch though early in the count, I think.
Grounded softly right side.
That's a fair ball, isn't it?
Should be. Flips to first. And home plate umpire, I guess, indicating that it was a foul ball off his foot. I don't know. Well, I don't know. Maybe not. Parra's indicating it's off his foot.
Look at AJ. 2 outs. Let's go.
2 down. And let's bring Bud Black out.
Looks like it did kind of hit his top of his foot, didn't it? Or the toe, don't you think? And you know, that's a tough call for anybody, isn't it? It happens so quickly, right?
And he is now walking off, Parra. So 4-3 on that putout, 2 down. Bud Black wanted Alfonso Marquez to get involved, the crew chief and third base umpire. That is unreviewable, or I should say non-reviewable. That's one of those play types.
Yeah.
Unreviewable, non-reviewable. You
get
can't
you.
review it,
I
is
get
my
you.
point. Yeah. This one foul back.
Well, Buddy Black clearly upset. And once again, very, very tough. But you know what? That's baseball.
Trevor Story skies one out towards left center. And well, Margot taking charge out there in center field for out number 3. We head to the bottom of the 6th inning. 3-2 Rockies. Fans, you can send us your video question. Use the hashtag BuzzTheBoothSD, and we will answer it during an upcoming broadcast. That's hashtag BuzzTheBoothSD. You can ask absolutely anything.
Anything?
Which one of you two wears a wire?
Jose Perella leading it off here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Perella 0 for 2. He's grounded back to the mound and grounded out to third base.
Well, fellas, you think maybe the last inning for Freeland, if he can get through this? Hopefully the Padres can get multiple base runners, then get a big hit, either tie it or take the lead.
He's done a pretty good job here, just at 80 pitches now.
Moving it in and out, cutting it, straightening it out, throwing a changeup. He got bit on one changeup. That was the home run to Villanueva, his second of the night. And there's the breakdown, balls to strikes.
Well, Perella grounds one up the middle into left center field. A base hit for Jose Perella. Wide turn at first, but he'll get back to the bag at first.
Well, you think about the offense now. They're starting to hunt that ball out over the plate, especially these right-handed hitters. See Perella, that hard ground ball past Story. It's a big inning for the Padres.
You got the right people coming up, and Eric Hosmer about to come up here with a runner at first and nobody out in the 6th inning. He has grounded out to third and walked. He'll take strike one. Both pens are busy right now. Renfroe waiting on deck and behind Hosmer. Big cut there from Hosmer. That's as big a cut as we have seen so far this year. 0-2.
Two perfect pitches by Freeland to get him 0-2.
Going both sides of the plate. Outside, inside.
Hosmer thought about it. Did he go? No. We'll check with Alfonso Marquez.
Well, this is a scenario here. If you're Perella, you got to look for that ball in the dirt. Not looking to steal a base in this situation, but you want to advance to second base.
Swing and a miss, and Hosmer lunges after that pitch and strikes out. Strikeout number 6 of the night for Kyle Freeland. 1 down.
Well, he loves to cut fastball. All those 4 pitches, 1 fastball, 3 cutters. And he starts out the left-hander outside corner for a strike. Let's try the inside at 91. Straighten it out a little bit. Now, cutter, 1-2. Did he go? No. 1-3. Got him with the cutter down and out of the zone. Kept going out there.
1 down for Hunter Renfroe, who will take a high strike for strike 1.
We talk about lefty on righty. He wore out lefties last year. 1 swing of the bat to put the Padres on top. Looking for that 1 pitch.
Down the left field line. That is going to get in. A fair ball to the corner. Perella's racing around the bases. He'll be stopped at third. Into second with a double goes Hunter Renfroe, and at second and third with 1 away.
Well, to your point, Bud, he has the ability to dominate left-handers down and in with the cutter. And he keeps his fair. Perfect pitch. And you remember Christian Villanueva, who has 2 home runs on deck. You know you're going to get a good pitch. And Perella always hustling around the bases. He's shut down by Glenn Hoffman because of Villanueva.
Second and third, 1 away. Padres are threatening a pitching change for the Rockies. We'll step aside. Colorado on top 3-2. To the bottom of the 6th inning, Padres are threatening here. And you got Christian Villanueva coming up. He's already done some damage in tonight's game.
And let's check out the plate coverage from the Padres third sacker. First home run on the left. Look, he goes out and gets it outer third. Looks like a cut fastball. So what does Freeland do the second time? He tries to change up on him. He goes down and gets it. Both baseballs find the sweet spot of the bat. Alakaye ×2 for Christian Villanueva.
And Padres players with 3 home runs in a single game. Hunter Renfroe did it September the 20th of last year. Here comes Villanueva with runners at second and third and 1 out.
Well, he's handled the pitch out over the plate, so look for the Rockies to maybe crowd him this at bat. You can pick your spot and go after it.
He gets hit with the first pitch. Oberg hits him, and Villanueva just kind of peers out.
Yeah, I don't mind that either, because there's some intent, especially having to pitch him in. Probably some chirping going on in the dugout as well. First pitch, and you can see Tracer right off that elbow guard.
So the 2 home runs and then hit with a pitch to load the bases with 1 down, and it brings up Freddie Galvis. Perella at third, Renfroe at second, Villanueva at first. Great opportunity here for the Padres in the bottom of the 6th inning. Galvis fouls it off, jumping on that first pitch. Oberg throwing hard, 94.
Pretty heavy on the 4-seamers, the slider, and the 2-seamer. The 2-seamer, which got up and away to hit Christian Villanueva to load the bases. Very rarely will he mix in a curveball and a changeup. Touches mid-90s, 95, 96 on that fastball.
Ball and a strike now to Galvis. Tonight 0 for 2, has struck out swinging and grounded out to shortstop.
Well, with the movement that you said, Mud, about Oberg, you're looking for something elevated.
On the ground, foul, 1-2. It's on the responsibility of Kyle Freeland, with the exception of Villanueva at first.
Sack fly would be quite nice right here. Get something like you said, Mark, up. Nice easy swing, hit it where it's pitched. Outfield swung over towards the left field line against Galvis.
Very high. It's got away.
Well, hasn't commanded the fastball yet. First one off Villanueva, and he's been missing on that arm side. The changeup has been the strike.
Fouled off to the left out of play. Another fastball, and it was mid-90s. That's very good. Colorado Rockies bullpen on display again tonight. Galvis on the ground into right field, a base hit. Perella will score. Renfroe's going to try and score. The throw from Gonzalez will not be in time, and the Padres take the lead. On top, 4-3. Big hit by the veteran Freddie Galvis.
Now the veteran shortstop comes up big, and how he does it is 2-strike. He shortened his approach. He got a good pitch to hit. You see the 2-seamer, but it's down, but he shortens his stroke and puts it in the hole in between first and second. Clutch hitting by Galvis.
Freddie Galvis with a big hit to drive in a pair. 4-3 now. Padres on top. First and third, still only one out. And Carlos Asuaje coming up. Check on Galvis right away. Asuaje tonight has walked and struck out swinging. It's down to Glenn Hoffman in the third base coach's box. Villanueva getting his walking lead off third. Falls behind 2-0.
We got to be careful with that breaking ball there. You speed up his bat, he can rifle something down to that right field corner. And with the way they're playing defensively, Carlos Gonzalez, he's shading the right center field gap. So there's plenty of room out there down that right field line. But it looks like Oberg trying to pound him away.
Check on Galvis again, back to the bag, held on by McMahon.
Guys, you think in this situation, Villanueva's probably going on contact. One out, guy on first base as well. You're looking for that ball down in the ground and taken off.
The count here to Asuaje. First and third. And a slow roller down the first base line. Oberg's coming home. The tag not in time. Villanueva got in. Padres take a 5-3 lead. Toss plateward. It was not a force play. Had to tag him and he doesn't in time. Villanueva gets in.
Mark, you made a great point. On contact, right?
And there he goes, and you can see making it a very difficult play for Oberg, but a great slide by Villanueva. You see that back part of home plate. That's where he goes with that left foot. Great slide and a perfect opportunity to add on for the Padres.
Villanueva's had a terrific game tonight. The 2 home runs after being hit by a pitch, sneaks in there. Padres have a 2-run lead, and A.J. Ellis fouling it back to the screen.
What a great hook slide. Old school hook slide.
Kyle Freeland, the starter for the Rockies tonight, charged with 4 of the 5 runs. Galvis at second, Asuaje at first. Fastball by Ellis there, 0-2. Rich Spangenberg has come out on deck. He would bat for Tyson Ross. Still only 1 out in the inning.
Oh, he got a pitch up right there that he could have drove to the right center field side of the diamond.
Padres have taken a 2-run lead, looking to add on. To the backhand there for Iannetta. Oberg has hit a batter, given up a single. Now 2 inherited runners to score. Check that, 3 inherited runners to score. Tyson Ross, 6 very good innings tonight. 81 pitches. Fouled off to the right, out of play.
Yeah, I think he's going to look back to that Cargo at bat where he got 3-0 and came back and punched him out.
Retired the last 8 batters he faced in the game.
And that's a great sign, because nowadays it's like third time around the lineup, managers are making changes.
Down the right field line, out of play.
Well, Tyson Ross made short work of those 6 guys. 1 through 6 for the Rockies in the 5th and 6th.
One pitches in his 6-inning effort.
Yeah, doing it in front of family too.
Doing it against a very good offensive lineup in the Colorado Rockies. Fouled off again. How about this at bat for A.J. Ellis?
Yeah, he's taken some really good swings, especially early in the count. This is when he really focuses on shortening his swing. Becomes a pest with 2 strikes.
8th pitch of the at bat coming up here at A.J. Ellis. Downstairs for ball 2.
Good take on that changeup.
One out of the inning. Freddie Galvis at second. Carlos Asuaje at first. And a grounder foul. Do it again. Pitch coming up here for Oberg since coming into this game. Only the 4th batter that he has faced since coming in. Rough off the backside, no throw. Line towards right center field. On the move is Gonzalez, and he dives to make the catch out there. Tagging at second and heading to third is Galvis. Nice diving play out there by Carlos Gonzalez to rob A.J. Ellis of what would have been extra bases.
You got to love the intent of A.J. Ellis. It's exactly where the pitch was thrown. Now you got to tip your cap to Carlos Gonzalez. What a great effort, Sween.
Yeah, and you see that go in the right center. Probably got in the lights, but running it back by A.J. Ellis.
And also that ball slicing off the bat, helping to the cause for Carlos Gonzalez to make that catch.
So 2 down, 1st and 3rd, and here is Corey Spangenberg. Pinch hitting here for Tyson Ross. They're going to appeal at second base, and he did not leave early. Under the impression that Freddie Galvis left before the catch was made in right field. All is fine, according to second base umpire Mike Estabrook. Spangenberg late on the 94-mile-an-hour fastball.
You know, you think about that play Freddie Galvis had. Obviously, with 1 out, you're supposed to go halfway. Well, if that gets by Gonzalez, he's scoring easily from second base. Him advancing to third base now elevates all of the pitches. Yeah, think about the read, and he's hovering around second base. Now he sees Cargo, goes back, tags easily, and advances to third base. You don't have to go halfway because you've been taught that. Kind of hover around and understand it's a big outfield. You're scoring easily if it gets by him.
Line to center, right at Blackman, who's going to make the catch out there that ends the inning. But what an inning it was, as the Padres come up with 3 runs in the inning. The big hit, Freddie Galvis, able to drive in 2. And Carlos Asuaje able to keep it going, and it gets Villanueva in from third. It's 5-3 Padres.
And what a night for Tyson Ross in his debut. Outstanding use of the two-seam fastball, the slider. You see the cutter off the end of the bat of the right-handers there, but look at the depth on the slider tonight, guys. We didn't see that in spring training as much, but this was the vintage Tyson Ross. Fastball slider combinations with the put-away slider. He threw it for strikes when he wanted to, and the best part, guys, he got stronger as the night went on. As you mentioned, retiring the last 8 that he faced. I don't think he could feel any better about this outing tonight, guys.
Outstanding for him. 6 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs, walked 3, struck out 281 pitches, and departs with a 2-run advantage. Hands it off to the bullpen, and Craig Stammen, who's dealing with Chris Iannetta, leads it off and waved at that pitch for a strike.
Well, it's not how you start, it's how you finish, and Tyson Ross did just that, handing it over to veteran Craig Stammen. Talked about his season last year. High leverage situation as well. 2-run lead here as we go into the 7th. His 3rd game.
Chop to short. Freddie Galvis plays the high hop. Takes care of Iannetta. Built for baseball. Presented by T-Mobile. The best network for streaming baseball, because your stadium should be where you make it. Ryan McMahon coming up here. Face Craig Stammen. 9 in a row retired by Padres pitching.
Well, he's got the feel for the old number 2, Craig Stammen. Flips it up there for strike 1 to get ahead.
Strike 2. Over the gas that time.
16 career games against these Rocks, a 1.5 ERA. I'll take that.
Pitcher's spot is due next, and looks like Mike Tauchman has come out on deck. Saw him come on in last night's game off the bench. There is Tauchman. Or McMahon, who's actually hitting. Tauchman's waiting on deck. That's the guy I'm talking about.
I see you.
Yeah. 1-2, fouled off. There is Tauchman. There's my guy.
Yep.
Ryan McMahon 0 for 2 in the ball game. He's grounded out, struck out, and now down on the count to Craig Stammen, 1-2.
Well, he started him off with a curveball. See if he puts him away with a curveball or buries something inside. Tried to go with that 2-seamer to bring it on the inner part of the plate. No, little two-seamer. Away.
Ground ball to first base. Hosmer gloves, and he'll take it to the bag himself. 2 down. Check out the Buzz the Booth SD question tonight.
Buzz us.
Who can lift more, you or me?
Well, are we talking food? Are we talking weights? Or, you know, what are we talking? Kind of like
I'll tell you this.
In the weight room?
You are very strong. For a larger gentleman, you are very strong.
You're pretty jacked.
No, not really. No, you are very strong. You really are. I'll give you that. Yeah, you're strong.
So what?
I would say you.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. What can you bench? You're a tough guy.
I haven't been to the gym in
quite some time.
Yeah. You know, honestly, I have no idea.
Back in the day, though, what do you think you benched?
What did they say? It's good if you can bench your weight?
I guess. So what are we talking here? 285-ish?
We need more plates.
The 0-1 is grounded softly back towards the mound. And Stammen throws to first. Nice pick there by Hosmer. And a nice inning by Craig Stammen. He enjoys a 1-2-3-7. 5-3 Padres. Stretch, and it's time now for the San Diego fans of the game. Is that a lion?
I think it was.
Yeah.
King of the forest. Hey, where's Waldo? Isn't that Waldo? Oh, he's sitting down now.
No.
Yeah, right there. There he is. That's Waldo, right?
If you say so.
Thanks for playing.
We head along here to the bottom of the 7th inning. New pitcher, Antonio Sensatella, who we saw last year in a starting role.
Yep. 36 games last year for the youngster. 20 games started. 134 frames of working out of the bullpen.
Manuel Margot leading it off, 0 for 3 in the ball game tonight. He's grounded out twice and struck out looking.
Another homegrown Rocky.
Popped up, foul off first. Ryan McMahon will make the catch. First out here at the bottom of the 7th.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the San Diego Padres and may not be reproduced, retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the San Diego Padres.
1 out in the 7th, and Jose Pirela coming up. 1 for 3. He has grounded out twice and singled to center. After he singled in the 6th, really got it started for the Padres. He would score the first of 3 runs.
Who'd you have for pick the stick tonight, Cha-Cha?
I had Manuel Margot.
Did you?
Yep. You?
I had Carlos Asuaje. So I'm 1 point minus, or 1 point because of the strikeout. RBI, walk, strikeout, so 1 point. -1 for the punchy. Oh, good pitch. That was a good hammer right there from Sensatella.
Well, thought about him, lays off, and it evens at 2-2. Sensatella just keeps working further away. It's Perella now, Hosmer next. Padres batting here in the last of the 7th inning, enjoying a 2-run lead. Fouled off to the right, out of play. Kyle Freeland started this game for the Rockies. He is currently on the hook. Went 5 1/3, 5 hits, 4 runs, walked 2, struck out 6. And Scott Oberg, 2/3 of an inning, and now Antonio Sensatella. This is through the right side into right field. Base hit for Perella. His 2nd of the night. And aboard here with 1 down in the 7th inning.
Good 2-strike hitting. Pitch that was down, away, and just hitting the top of that baseball, going out and getting it. Foot is down, hands are back, attack. 4-seamer away. Head down. Directing that ball to the right side very, very nicely. 1 hopper through the infield. That is swinging with intent. Not trying to hook that ball or pull that ball.
Takes us to Eric Hosmer, who has grounded out, walked, and struck out. Still hitting .333 on the season, though. Take strike 1. They shift on Hosmer and they keep it tight to the infield with a double play possibility. With Perella at first base and 1 down. Look at the alignment with Nolan Arenado over towards shortstop. Staying away from Hosmer. Not a huge lead for Perella at first base. In there for strike 2.
That's good movement at 93. Straightened up Hosmer on the inner part of the plate.
Padres trying to add on to a 2-run advantage as they bat here in the home half of the 7th.
You know, last year for Sensatella, remember how the Rockies got off to a good start last year? Well, Kyle Freeland, who started tonight, and this kid, Sensatella, they combined to go 28 starts. The Rockies went 20-8 in those starts. And then they kind of fizzled out towards the end of the year. And we all know what happened after that. Wild card game, lost to the D-backs.
Hosmer strikes out. That's the 2nd out of the 7th inning. First strikeout for Sensatella.
Very good breaking ball. See the rotation, slider, curveball. If that's a slider, it's got a big break to it, but it had that slider spin to it. Maybe a curveball, but all told, a swing and a miss for the strikeout.
2 down in the inning. Perella at first base and Hunter Renfroe. Renfroe struck out looking in the 2nd, bounced into a double play in the 4th before doubling in the 6th inning. And had to try to bring it back into the zone, but it's outside. Go fouled out to begin the inning. Perella with a single to right. Hosmer strikes out swinging. So 2 down, runner at first. And Renfroe, the big cut. In the air, foul off to the right, out of play. Sensatella coming into this game here in the bottom of the 7th inning, trying to keep it right where it's at. Another pop-up foul, out of play.
I think he got a hanger right there, just kind of worked underneath it a little bit.
Runner goes. Renfroe takes the ball. Throw down is going to be wild, and over to cover was DJ LeMahieu, and he kept it from center field. Oh, it almost got away. Stolen base for Jose Perella.
Well, try to add on any way you can. Picked a good pitch to come on, because this ball down and away, and then he kind of rushes it. Iannetta kind of working underneath it a little bit, and the athleticism for LeMahieu preventing that ball from going into center field. But with 2 outs. Now first base open to Renfroe. Maybe an off-speed pitch here.
Off the end of the bad foul. Renfroe stays alive here. 95 and 96 from Sensatella.
That was the good old-fashioned heater right there.
8th pitch of the at-bat coming up here for Hunter Renfroe. Outside ball 4, and he loses him. So down to first goes Hunter Renfroe. It's time now for the Bill Howe plays of the game, and not 1 but 2 home runs for Christian Villanueva. First one came in the 2nd inning, his first of the year. And then in the 4th inning, it is 2nd home run of the night. Another solo shot. This one also to left. A little straighter this time. 2 on, 2 away, and a chance for Villanueva to do some more damage. And a grounder down the 3rd baseline, foul. Villanueva, after the 2 home runs, was hit by a pitch by Scott Oberg in the 6th inning. Did come around to score after being hit by the pitch. Now the chance to do some damage with Perella at second base, Renfroe at first, 2 down in the inning. In the air to deep left field. For the 3rd time tonight, Villanueva's hit it out of the yard. The trifecta tonight for Christian Villanueva. This one's a 3-run shot and puts the Padres on top 8-3. Have a night, Villanueva.
Four-seam fastball right down the middle. Lean on me. Cuidado! Piece of Mojado! Yes.
Call for Villanueva.
Love it.
Now Freddie Galvis. Huge home run for Villanueva. All 3 tonight, but the 3rd one Gives the Padres some much needed breathing room.
All three of those, that sound. And speaking of sound, that's a sound you love to hear and see. Curtain call for the Padres' third sacker.
In the air to shallow left as Parra makes his way in. He'll make the catch. It ends the inning with the damage. Oh, it's been done. Christian Villanueva with his third home run of the game. A 3-run shot gives the Padres an 8-3 lead in San Diego tonight.
And the Angels and Mike Trout does what Mike Trout does.
Yeah, you see that right field wall, now that gold strip going across it. Used to have to hit it over it. I think this benefits Mike Trout moving forward.
11-2 is where they stand there in the 7th inning. Probably the bigger story there is one you've been already notified about with Mark and Don talking about the 3-run shot by Shohei Ohtani, which is a big deal around here. Big deal here is Christian Villanueva. Boy, what a night.
Unbelievable night. 3 home runs, and they haven't been cheap at all.
No, when we see on the post-game show, we'll probably have to touch on that. That's the way we see it playing out. It's only doing what is the right thing to do, don't you think, Don Mark?
I think so, Mike. Good call.
Thanks, Mike and Mark, as Charlie Blackmon is going to lead it off here and take ball 1 from the new pitcher, Kirby Yates.
Don, you made a good point with that 3-run shot. Gives the Padres some wiggle room. 8-3, and that's looking very, very nice on that line score. Third game for the right-hander Kirby Yates. Fastball, breaking ball, split finger fastball. Free and easy delivery.
8-time Padres hitter has had 3 home runs in a game. 7th player to do it, Steve Finley, who did it twice. Christian Villanueva's done it tonight. Padres pitching's been very good in this game too, as Tyson Ross went 6 innings, giving up the 3 runs that the Rockies have. Craig Stammen had a perfect 7th inning, and right now they're in a stretch in which they've retired 11 Rockies in a row in the combined effort. Kirby Yates in here with a 5-run lead, and the top of the Rockies order to deal with. Popped up into shallow right center. Back goes to Suaje. Carlos calling and catching out number 1. So 1 away, and that'll bring up DJ LeMahieu.
Wow. I'm looking at my scorecard here, and it's just a beautiful thing. Christian Villanueva has been on base. And you know what? He got hit also, right?
Also scored.
Have a night in the big leagues.
3-home run performance tonight for Christian Villanueva. Kind of forced his way on this team with the spring training that he had during the year.
Out of options, right?
Yes. Played his way onto it, and you get the feeling he's going to get more reps down there at third base.
Yeah, and what that means, folks, when he's out of options, if they were electing to send him down to the minor leagues and he'd have to clear waivers, that means any other team could pick him up, but not the case. He broke camp with the team. He is a Friar, and he's paying dividends early on.
Finished the year here, of course, last year. Very good end of the year for him. And to be honest, his name was not one of the names we heard at the end of last year about the guys who were being added to the club. You didn't hear a lot from him. Did a very good job to finish last year, and a tremendous night tonight. Chance to start down there at third base. DJ LeMahieu batting here with one down. Base is empty. Rockies batting in the 8th. On the ground towards short. Galvis to his left. 2 down in the 8th inning. So we're talking about the 3 home runs in a game. Only Steve Finley doing it twice. And here is the list. Finley did it twice. 1997, same season. May 19th, June 23rd. Joins that list with his 3 home runs tonight against the Colorado Rockies.
Welcome to the club.
I'll ask you, Mark Grant, when was the last curtain call you can remember here at Petco Park?
It's been a long, long time. And you know what? It brought a smile to my face. I thought it was awesome.
I'm trying to think of one in my 3 seasons. I don't think
it was great.
I can remember one.
We see it all the time. Other venues, like especially New York.
Yep.
Remember, when I think of curtain calls, I think of Old Shea Stadium. Darryl Strawberry, right? Going yard, and they'd call him out. That was a nice thing to see.
Well, Villanueva got called out, and he came out. Tipped his helmet to the crowd. 2 down here in the 8th. 1-1 to Arenado. Laced foul down the left field line into the seats. What a stretch right now. 13 in a row retired by Padres pitching. Combination of Ross, Stammen, and Yates.
That was a purpose pitch, up and out of the zone, up the ladder, trying to get Arenado to swing and miss. He'll chase. He'll chase that slider down and away with 2 strikes out of the zone.
On the ground, foul, and then we'll do it again. 2-2. Arenado a tough out. And a double back in the 3rd inning, and drove in 2. That was with the bases loaded. Skip through to the backstop, and a full count now. Yates gets a new baseball, rubs it up as he heads back to the hill. Kirby taken off waivers by the Padres. Started last year with the Angels before having a very good season with the Padres last year, becoming an important member of that bullpen. That is strike 3, and Arenado is fired up.
That's a strike.
Jumps right back into the face of Bruce Dreckman. It's calming down now, but that was quite the reaction to strike 3. 14 in a row retired by Padres pitching. Arenado didn't like it. That's strike 3. By Evans Tire and Service Centers, home of the buy two, get two. And by Petco, where the pets go. Christian Villanueva with a 3-home run performance in tonight's game. The Padres have an 8-3 lead. To the bottom of the 8th inning we go.
It's been a fun night at the ball yard.
Yes, it has. Mike Dunn is on now for Colorado. And first pitch ball here to Carlos Asuaje. Dunn, fourth arm used by Buddy Black.
His second season with the Rockies after signing a 3-year contract. 68 games last season. Opponents only hit a .228 off the left-hander. He's made at least 50 relief appearances in 7 consecutive seasons. That's being all reliable right there.
Grab foul. Ball and 2 strikes here to Asuaje, who has walked, struck out, and got it into a fielder's choice, but picked up an RBI. Runs, 8 hits, no errors for San Diego. 3 runs, 5 hits, and no errors for Colorado. On the ground, softly hit down the first baseline. The pitcher Dunn shuffles it towards first. And a nice play there to pick it by Ryan McMahon. Dunn getting over there. All he can kind of do is flip it in that direction. A one-hopper to McMahon, who dug it out of the dirt for the first down.
This was a nice play. Why? Because first of all, the backhand, and then you have to worry about hitting the backside of Asuaje. And then the great concentration covering is LeMahieu there, and that's
backhanded bounce pass.
Yeah.
1 out here in the 8th. And it brings up A.J. Ellis. 1 for 3 tonight. Single to left field in the 5th inning. $19,283 on hand tonight. 19,283. See game 2 of this 4-game series. It is Ellis now, and out on deck is Matt Caesar. Seen out of the pen Stammen and Yates so far tonight for Tyson Ross, who started this game. More action out there in the pen right now. Kazuhisa Nikita is warming. In the air, foul ground. Arenado looking over, but won't have a play.
You know, I know you and I, Don, were anticipating to see this start for Tyson Ross tonight, but it wasn't just everybody here in San Diego. I think everybody throughout baseball, knowing the Tyson Ross story and what he had to go through to get back, as we take a look at Nikita heating up. But it was the baseball world anticipating this big start for Tyson Ross.
Absolutely thrilled for him.
Yeah.
Great guy and a great outing tonight in his return. Padres trying to nail down their first win of the season. Full count.
Be sure to stay tuned after this one. Padres Live, the post-game show. Mike Pomerantz and Mark Sweeney talk about Christian Villanueva. His day at the plate. Tyson Ross, his day on the hill. Call a friend, call a neighbor, call a relative. Have them tune in.
Ball 4. Ellis down to first base. 1-out walk. Well, speaking of pitching matchups, a good one tomorrow as it is John Gray, 10-4, 3.67 earned run average last year against Clayton Richard. Richard, of course, got the nod on opening day for the Padres. We're getting ready to make his second start of the year. And the Padres and Rockies to play Game 3 of the series. We'll get you started at 6:30 tomorrow night. We play day baseball on Thursday in the finale. That's Caesar pinch hitting and taking strike one. Clayton Richard looking to face a Rockies team. Pretty good offense. On the ground up the middle towards short. Story will touch second, throw to first, double play. 6-3 on the DP that ends the 8th. We head to the 9th, 8-3 Padres. Villanueva's hit it out of the yard. The trifecta tonight for Christian Villanueva. Three home runs tonight for Villanueva, and the Padres have an 8-3 lead. To the 9th inning we go. Some changes for the Padres here, and we'll start you with the pitcher. Kazuhisa Makita comes into the game here in the 9th.
Made his major league debut on Friday against the Milwaukee Brewers last season with the Cebu Lions. 58 games, a very, very respectable ERA at 2.30, and the walks just jump out at you. Only 5 free passes in 62 plus innings of work. The knuckle scraper gets a call off the outside part of the plate there. What's effective here, Don, with 2 strikes, he'll learn to go up the ladder because guys will chase. Actually pitching uphill for Makita.
Matt Caesar also stays in this game after he pinch hit. He takes over in left field. Carlos Gonzalez getting his first look at Makita. There is Caesar now in left field. Andy Green was very careful not to use Makita against National League West teams during the spring, so this is their first look at him, and that was the intention.
It's the right move, huh?
Yeah, a little bit of a surprise.
Sure.
The element of surprise. At times there's a 30-mile-an-hour difference between his breaking ball and his fastball, and a swing and a miss. Gonzalez goes down chasing. One down in the 9th inning.
Looks like a little spinner on the outside part of the plate. Gonzalez trying to protect. Look at the stride, how long of a stride that is, and how close his hand actually comes to the ground. And the end result, out number 1 here in the 9th.
1 down, and it'll bring up Gerardo Parra. Doubled in the 4th, 1 for 3 in the ball game. Strike 1. $15 in a row retired by Padres pitching. Ross, Stammen, Yates, and Makita part of that combination. Some awkward swings here at Makita. Ball and 2 strikes. Just away. You had the crowd cheering every pitch.
That's great.
Full count now. Outside, didn't miss by a lot. A 1-out walk, and that breaks up a string of 15 in a row. Retired by Padres pitching. Let's revisit our keys to the game, brought to you by your San Diego Honda dealers.
Well, the first one was be free at the plate. Hey, let it happen. Don't worry about what's happened in the past. Let's focus on tonight. Well, the Padres offense, 8 hits, 4 extra base hits, 3 home runs from that kid right there, resulting in 8 runs, and land the big blow. Talk about big blow. How about 3 big blows? But the 3-run shot was huge for San Diego. Huge.
Trevor Story swinging over the top of that. 0-1. Story with a single back in the 4th inning. A 1 for 3 night for the Rockies shortstop. Runner goes. Story swings and pops it up. Shallow center field. In comes Margot. And he'll make the catch. Back to the bag at first goes Parra. 2 down in the 9th inning. So 2-way, and it brings up Chris Iannetta. Iannetta has grounded out. Single to left to drive in a run. Grounded out to short in the 7th. Runner goes, pitched low and inside. Defensive indifference allows Parr to take second base. Popped up. Hosmer will go as far as he can towards the seats, but that's going to be a foul ball. Back 4 or 5 rows into the seats. Ball and a strike here to Iannetta with 2 down in the 9th inning. Swing and a miss, 1-2. One-two pitch. Softly lined to right. Renfroe coming in and can't make the catch. It's off his glove, and behind him, around from second, comes Parra. He'll score. As Iannetta's at first base, the diving bid by Renfroe, but it's off the top of his glove. And it's now 8-4 as the Rockies get a run with 2 down.
Hunter Renfroe dove earlier in the game in the right field corner, and this one, a very catchable ball. Hey, still tough. He lays out and he hits right off the pinky side of the glove.
Ruled a hit and an RBI for Iannetta. Second hit, second RBI. Now Ryan McMahon. Ball one. 0 for 3 from his number 8 spot in the Rockies order. And 0 for 7 to start the season. Keita falling behind here, 2-0, staying away. And Hand all of a sudden up in the pen. Three and 0. Ball 4, and he loses him. So McMahon down to first base. Second walk allowed by Makita in the inning, and this will bring Darren Balsley out. Pat Valleca is going to pinch hit after the meeting, and of course involves the interpreter as well. Brad Hand continuing to warm in the pen with 2 down and 2 on.
Well, I remember last year Pat Valleca, he came up with some big time hits for these Rockies in the pinch hitting role.
Yeah, many times coming off the bench.
It is a safe situation right now with the tying run on deck for Colorado.
Like 258, got into 110 games last year, and now Andy Green pops out of the dugout. So he is going to make a change here. Obviously, the second visit in a row.
Wait, I think he's got to pitch to this hitter.
Bud Black is coming out.
After the visit.
Yeah.
After the visit, you got to pitch to that hitter.
We will sort it out when we come back. Bud Black out there to argue. It's 8-4 Padres. Hand. As Pat Valleca still coming up here. Hand in 2 games previously, and of course allowing the big home run to Ryan Braun here in the blown save against the Milwaukee Brewers earlier in this homestand.
Well, hopefully very few pitches right here to get that last out.
Pat Valleca, the pinch hitter, with runners at first and second. And a strike over the outside corner. Iannetta at second base, McMahon at first. Certainly one of the characteristics of a good closer is one that can forget about a bad outing last time out.
Got that right.
Two on, two down, a run in. Tying run on deck here for the Rockies. And Valleca fouls it off, 1-2. So 2 outs here in the 9th inning. Runners at first and second. The Friar faithful will come to their feet here at Petco Park in San Diego, where the Padres are trying to secure their first victory of 2018. One-two pitch. Valleca strikes out and the Padres win. Indeed, the first victory of 2018, and Brad Hand closes the door on a Rockies comeback. Padres win it 8-4.
It's that breaking ball that we know and love. We saw it all last year from the all-star left-hander to seal the deal, and the first victory in the 2018 campaign for the Padres.
Final score again, the Padres 8, the Rockies 4. Padres Live is next. Mike Pomeranz, what's in store?
Well, we've got to talk Christian Villanueva. What a night. The 8th Padre in history to record a 3-home run game. Also scored after being hit by a pitch. So Christian's the big story, and we'll get the latest from Andy Green when we see you in moments on Padres Live.